it off. Go to Vegas, bet it all. Put it on the Bucs win, whoever they gon' play gon' fall. Don't say I ain't told y'all. Loose cannons gon' fold y'all. Yeah, the Heat be 9-3, but it gets real cold in the fall. That's when the season start. Bucs come in 40 hard. Win after win, ripping the division apart. Panthers, they pussycats. Falcons got bird flu. Take the Ravens and Dolphins and open up a zoo. Cause one thing's for sure, better than the Bucs, they show lane. No way. And every day in Tampa Bay, we say fuck the Saints. We in Tampa Bay, baby. 813 going crazy. Tampa, boy. This Bucs podcast be the greatest. Loose cannons blasting on them haters. And we in Tampa Bay, baby. Tampa, where you from? 813.
What is up, Bucs Nation? It is Monday, April 21st, 2025, and you are watching the Loose Cannons podcast on the final arrival of draft week. It's only days away, Stank. I am your boy, the Sammer Ali, the one and only host of this show, along with my three interns tonight, one of which is on screen right now, the pale Slim Jim smoking wonder, the barefoot piece of shit, the absolute dumbest, smartest, dumbest guy I've ever met. Stank fucking bastard. Welcome to draft week, Stank. Welcome to draft week.
What'd you call me the other day? Shithead? And I was like, I haven't heard that in a while.
Nah, I think it was dipshit.
Dipshit. That's what it was.
Yep.
I was man, that's an old, you know what? Somebody calls you a dipshit, they're at least 60, 65.
Dipshit extraordinaire. Just wanted to give you guys a heads up before we start the show. We've got both interns on the show tonight, hanging out in what I like to call intern closet. Intern Izzy on your left, intern Vixen for the first time on screen. Guys, say hello. Say hello to Loose Cannons faithful from the closet.
You go first, Vix.
Why do I gotta go first?
Ladies first.
Look at these guys, just scared. Stank, you
What
see this?
what a gentleman.
Terrifying.
All right.
Hello.
That was.
Hey, is this thing on? Do you know what to do with your hands right now? You don't know what to do with your hands?
They have no idea. They don't know what they're
Bucs
doing.
Nation was popping.
Yeah.
All right, so we might sometimes go to the intern's closet tonight, folks. We might not. Who knows? But tonight's show is going to be a little bit different, okay? Tonight's our final mock draft, but we're going to do this predictive style, meaning we're going to take all of the knowledge in which we've learned from our guest general managers, okay, and all the simulations, all the rumors, all the 30 visits, everything that we know about the Bucs and how they like to do things. We're going to do our best to predict this draft. We're going to probably go with just the 6 picks for tonight, because we don't know how the trades are going to play out. I do think at the end of the day, they'll end up with 7 guys, but we're going to go with 6. We're not going to use the simulator to do it. That's, partly because we don't want the simulator to dictate what we do, because we are, again, predicting what we think will happen and the players that we think will become Buccaneers by the end of this weekend. Stank, we got to start at the top, okay? The 19th pick. A lot of shit is swirling now. All of a sudden, guys are falling. Guys are flying up people's boards. Now there's going to be trades to be had. All smoke and mirrors, in my opinion. What are your thoughts on all that bullshit that we just heard this morning?
Yeah.
All day, actually.
Everything's a lie. Everything's a lie.
All right.
All right. Don't let them use you guys, okay? Nobody's flying up and down the boards right now. Everybody's exactly where they've been for months right now. Okay, so you're just hearing all the lies. Everybody's just making shit up. Okay, they know what they're gonna do. They've been known what they're gonna do. I feel like this is gonna be an extremely boring draft. Boring from the standpoint that there's not gonna be a bunch of wild trades. I don't foresee a shocker, come off the board. I think it's just gonna be straight missionary. Yeah. Sorry to disappoint everyone.
You're calling this draft missionary draft. But listen, sometimes you got to go that route, right? Sometimes you just got to get the job done. You got to get to bed early. Sometimes you don't have time for all that fun. You don't have time for the handcuffs and the rolling around and switching and on the ground, on the couch, move it to it's too much sometimes, right? Sometimes you just want to get it done, get it in and out, take care of the Johnson, take care of, the Badger, and just keep it moving.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
The Johnson and the Badger is a new one. Okay.
Wait, you never heard of that?
Somehow,
I knew about the Johnson. I knew about the
somehow
Johnson, but the
everybody
Badger's a
knows
new one. The new
exactly
one,
what you're
yeah.
talking about.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
Vixen, you have anything to add to this?
No, absolutely not. You said it all. I mean, you said Johnson, Badger. I don't know what else I could possibly add to make that sentence any better.
Yeah.
Or any
easier.
worse.
Any worse,
Or
exactly.
any worse, yeah.
All right, so Stank, at 19, I believe the Bucs. I do think the Bucs end up staying at 19. I think they will get what they want, which is a premier edge rusher in this draft. Other needs ahead of us, like corner, linebacker, to an extent, wide receiver. These other big names are going to end up, being the focus of the teams ahead of us. And I do think, in my opinion, pick 19 should be Donovan Ezaraku. But, we're going to go ahead and have this discussion, every one of these picks. So unless you disagree with me, I believe that will be the pick at 19.
I'm not. Intern, is it Vixen?
That was Vix.
Did you have anything you needed to say? Because I'm a gentleman. So if you have something you need to get off your chest, by all means.
No, nothing at all. I was just going to ask about Burden, What you got about? No?
Oh,
Not at all?
No.
You talking about Luther Burden,
Now-
the wide receiver?
Yeah.
I don't see them going after wide receiver. Matter of fact, I've seen a couple mocks already where we're not even going after an edge in the first round. We're either going after Malachi Stark or we're going after a cornerback.
Malachi Stark,
Yeah, listen.
Luther Burden.
So here's the thing,
You
Stank.
just never know. Yes.
If Ezaraku's not there, I believe Starks would be the pick. I really do. I think that's how high they would be on him. But I don't think there's any scenario in which they turn down Donovan Ezaraku, as even because he'd just be a rotational piece at this point, but he'd be able to take some of that, burden off of Hassan Reddick. But I just think that's the guy. If he's there, I don't see any scenario that he's not the pick. Even if Jihad Campbell is somehow still there, I still think you take the edge rusher, the guy that's going to have that impact immediately. And again, I don't think it helps Jihad Campbell in terms of the Bucs that he's had the shoulder thing come up. Will he be ready for training camp? Will he be ready for week 1? That whole scenario. I don't see the Bucs taking a risk when they have this window that's starting to open up right now for them to compete.
If I'm being perfectly honest, I think it's Jihad if he's there. I think it's always been that guy. He fills a position of need. I feel like he's also a guy that can take, it's hard to say this, but take the, Levante's seat at some point, the torch, and carry on if need be. And that's a very realistic thing that we're going to have to face soon. So I don't know that they'll be able to pass up on a guy like that. I just don't think he's going to be there. I really don't. I
agree with you. I don't think he'll be. I think he'll be a Cowboy.
Yeah.
That it just feels like a Cowboy pick. But if he is there, I still like because there's an opportunity to get a guy like Demetrius Knight or Schlesinger out of a UCLA, if I'm saying his name right, in the second round. I feel like you got to go with the guy that, because the drop off from Ezaraku to the guy you could get in the second or the third round, the kid out of UCLA, it's just too deep for my liking. And I feel like you got to take that guy there.
There are some other names. If we believe what we've heard, right? And we've heard Mike Green, James Pierce are not on the Bucs board. So if we believe what we've heard, and that could be all bullshit too. There's another Georgia guy that sometimes seems to make his way into the conversation. That's Mykel Williams. I know that the production isn't what other guys have been, but he's faced a lot of adversity. I think he's a guy that could potentially shock people if they took him. We already know Todd loves his Georgia guys. Shamar Stewart is another name that we've seen thrown out often, and Nick Scorton. So
I just don't think he'll be there, Stank. That's the thing. I don't think Mykel will be there because he's just got too much of that flash. Again, teams ahead of us will have that need. But somebody in the chat mentioned the same thing about Jihad Campbell. Jihad Campbell has the potential to not even be able to practice until the first week of the season, if that. I just don't see the Bucs taking a chance on a guy that is going to have this up and down injury thing that could flare up, could extend into the season with your first round pick, with this window that's opened up, with a need on defense that might not even be able to get onto the field. like it just seems like that would be the pick you'd make maybe 3 years ago. Like we got a long runway, we're not competing right now. It makes sense. And if he wasn't injured, I would say he's the pick if he's there. But because of that injury, I was just like, nah, it's got to be Ezeraku. And I feel like that's the way you go. And then you could build those other pieces throughout the draft, even over corner. There's so many corners in this draft that you could have all the way down to 157 that are still good corners, as opposed to the drop-off from linebacker and the drop-off from edge.
I think you'll agree, though. If we take him at 19, that means he is medically cleared, that he won't be missing very much time, that he is going to be here during training camp. And, you know, I mean, who the fuck, what the fuck do we honestly know? We don't know shit. We know what people have said. We know a bunch of talking heads have said, and we only know what they've been told by people who could be trying to, you know, hope that they can float some misinformation out there so this guy starts to drop. Because I'm sure there's plenty of people, you know, in the 20s that would love for that kid to land in their laps because, you know, somebody gets cold feet, you know, because of the potential injury. Right. So you got some young GMs out there. You got some old guys who may be desperate to keep their jobs, who may be extra cautious about taking a guy like him just based off his injury history. So
Vixen, are there any other first round names we are forgetting about that have come up in our mocks with our GMs so far?
Not really. No, you guys said Campbell, Malachi, Ezeraku. You you guys pretty much have it down.
Izzy, you were here on a couple of those too. I feel like we haven't missed anybody, right? We've covered the bases on these at 19. I feel like.
Oh, James Pierce Jr. Sorry.
James Pierce was he was on the radar for one of the GMs, but I don't think he was a first round pick. I think he was more second round because
he was a first round pick.
He was?
Yeah.
I remember the last few episodes, Ezeraku was the main pick. At first it was Jihad Campbell, but then as the weeks went on and the combine happened, pro days, Jihad was getting picked off the board early. Ezeraku was the main one that was being consistently on everybody's board.
Jihad Barron or Jihad
Campbell?
Okay, all right.
Jihad Campbell.
Okay.
Campbell was going early, and then it was Ezeraku, and then after Ezeraku, it was Malachi Stark. It was between those two.
I know people have said Mike Green. I'm a huge Mike Green guy. I think he's ridiculously productive. He's got all the stuff, but off the field issues are the ones that I think the Bucs don't like. Some of the stuff that would have been character issues that they would be okay with because of the locker room. You could trust the locker room to kind of police itself and get some of that stuff fixed, but it's not a character issue. It's more of sexual accusations. I think that's where the Bucs have this law, this line drawn in the sand. I believe Scott came on last week and mentioned that they've already gone through the Jameis Winston scenario with that similar thing. They're not interested in that. So I think that takes Mike Green completely off the board. I still don't think Mike Green would be there anyway because that's how good he is. But I just don't see the Bucs keeping him on the board because of that. So I think at this point we all agree, Stank. It is.
We do, but you can't. I guess you can't ignore the corners, right? You can't ignore.
I think
you never know. Travis Hunter could be there. No, I'm just kidding. You can't ignore the corner.
Travis Hunter.
There, you got Will Johnson. You know other names. Ravel. I've seen Max. I think it's Maxwell Hairston.
But I wouldn't take those guys at 19. I still think it's got to be an edge type guy because you have so many corners that you can still add, and you could still get Ravel in the second round, even Hairston in the second round. I just don't like those two guys as first round picks, especially with the injury history too. That's another thing. But yeah,
and I feel the same way about the wide receiver position. Although, you know, it's tense. It's exciting to consider that we maybe get a weapon in the first round. I think there's enough guys in the second, third, fourth round, that may take a chance on. And I really still believe that pass rusher, and the linebacker position are our two most glaring needs. And I just don't see them turning away from a guy like Ezeraku or Campbell if they're there. I just don't. I think it's one of the two guys.
All right, so then we'll do it this way then. We'll have two lists going, okay? So Izzy, you're in charge of Stank's draft, and Vixen, you're in charge of my draft, okay? My predictive number 19 is Donovan Ezeraku. Stank, you're going to go with Jihad Campbell.
Yeah, I am. And I know that's like we've seen this guy mocked to us since the end of the season. Mm-hmm. And people are probably just seen it enough to where they're like, okay.
No, Stank, they love him. They love him. I'm telling you.
I know they love him. That's what I'm saying. It's easy to be like, yeah, God, there's just no, we've seen it too many times and it's just not going to happen. But I feel like it might be the pick. Might be the pick.
All right. So now let's move on to that second round pick. This is where we've gone a bunch of different ways in our mocks. We've had wide receiver go there at one point. We've had linebacker. We've had interior defensive lineman. We've had safety go there. Izzy or Vixen could pop in here at any moment and give us some of these names. But in my opinion, I think if you go edge in the first round, I think second, unless a guy like Revel or Amos or Harrison are somehow still there, which I don't think they will be. But if they are still there, I think you go corner. But in my opinion, I think it's linebacker because after this, the drop off from linebackers in the second round to linebackers in the third round is just too steep. I think the corner drop off is not as steep, so I think you could still pick up some really, really good guys. So in my opinion, second round pick would be either the kid out of UCLA, Schlesinger, or the kid I really think does fit the Bucs, has a great story like Scott gave us last week, and that's Demetrius Knight Jr. out of South Carolina. I think that would be the ideal second round pick for the Bucs. It answers a need. It fills a gap. He comes in day one, is challenging for that spot, and if he's not the starter, he's going to be playing a shit ton of snaps because him and Dennis are going to be able to kind of split duty. I think at some point it becomes his job, but that would be my pick. Stank?
Yeah, I mean, it all depends on who we take at 19, right? Because if we take Jihad, then
in your scenario,
we're likely going, in my scenario, then we're likely going another position here. And we wouldn't be going after Demetrius or Carson or, a guy like that. Maybe, a guy like Brady Swinson falls to us in the second round. The edge out of LSU. It's hard. It's so hard to project after the first round because I think it is a bit wild. You could see a guy like Ravel potentially dropping into the second round, although I don't think so. I feel like he's been a name that you just continually hear.
He'll be gone by 53. That's the thing.
Yeah, I think he'll be at minimum going to be a guy, beginning of the second round, but probably makes his way into the end of the first round. So it's just much harder to project at that point. But I think depending on if we go edge rusher or linebacker, I think you can make an argument for either.
So Stank, you went linebacker though. So
I did.
Jihad Campbell. So who is your pick in that second round? A couple of mocks have had us going. If I can pull it up here on my side, I'll kind of list them. Unless one of you guys has them in front of you, Izzy or
what do you need?
Throw out the second round picks that we've had through our mocks at this point.
Rebel, Demetrius Knight Jr. a few times.
Some of the guys that PFF projects in that mid range, a guy like Landon Jackson, Brady Swinson, Princely Unumanaya, JT
Chris Paul Jr.
Ivy, right?
Chris Paul Jr. has been another one. Yeah.
We've seen him in the second and the third. So, some names like that potentially, finding their way onto our radar, and then you just never know what guys slide out of the first round. It's going to be unlikely that these big edge names slide towards us.
So here's a name, Stank, that we talked about a lot, and we've had him. I really like him too. Darian Porter. That's a corner that I feel like is going to be there at 53. You went Jihad Campbell. So I just don't see an edge rusher with that 53rd pick unless somebody falls, like you're saying. So you're going to have to give me a name here, man, for your second round. If it's me, it's Darian Porter. Just so you know. But that's just because I feel like he's there. But he's also he goes up and down.
I kind of agree with Bucs by 30. We need to get on the same page here because it's going to be difficult for you and I to project our own draft throughout all 6 picks. Just if I'm going one way and you're going the other.
I saw your same page on Twitter earlier this week.
You're talking about my final draft?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So then we're going. Well, Donovan Ozaraku round 1, Demetrius Knight Jr. round 2.
Yeah, I'm be ecstatic with those 2 selections.
All right. So then we move on to, I believe the next pick is what, 84. This is where it gets kind of fun, man. Right? Because a guy like Jalen Knoll, Iowa State wide receiver, is right there. I think he fills a hole that people aren't talking enough about in multiple ways. But then you could also go corner here. You could also go interior defensive lineman. There's different directions here. But if it's me, I feel like, again, I think I can still hold off before I go corner. But it all just kind of depends. But if it's me, I'm going wide receiver because I feel like you're getting a real good guy here. But are you awake, Stank?
I like Jalen Royals too. I know you said Noel, right?
Yeah, Jalen Royals has been a guy that's there too.
Yeah, I like Jalen. I like him. I like Kyle Williams. There's definitely some names there. At the wide receiver position, but
Safety is another one that comes up too.
Safety exactly. Safety like
Winston
Jonas
Jr.
That's probably a little too early for Jonas Sanker. He's likely a fourth or fifth round guy, but potentially a guy like we're in the third round here.
Yeah, Makuba's there. I believe that was a guy that Trevor really liked over Winston Jr. We really like Winston Jr. Everybody likes that guy. That's been a pick that we made at 84 too. I could see us going wide receiver or safety. Safety immediately answers the need. I like RJ Mickens out of Clemson later on in the draft. So that's kind of why I'm feeling like I don't have to rush that safety pick necessarily, because he does have the ability to play multiple spots on the field as well. He was kind of a do-it-all guy for Clemson on a pretty bad
Can you
team.
share your screen again? Because I can't see shit. I'm kind of going blindly here.
I'm not showing you any of my picks.
Oh, okay. I thought you were actually showing the picks.
Oh, no.
Lathon Ransom, I think, is also another
safety there again. I mean, this
safety on there for that round.
I really wouldn't be shocked if the Bucs go first 3 picks defense. So if that's the case, I would think safety would be the pick to go with here at 84. So if it's me, I think predictive wise, I think Winston feels like Starks and fills a lot of the same holes that Starks would fill, but without having to take Starks at 19, you get the Winston Jr. kid. I think that would be a very, very good prediction for 84, in my opinion.
Yeah, you also got to look at the interior guys, like Shamar Turner, Jordan Phillips, some of those guys, CJ West, JT Sanders, those guys that could potentially fall in this range as well. But without mocking it live, it's we could just throw out a bundle of names here. It's difficult.
Okay, well, I think honestly, if I'm going to do predictive wise, Winston Jr. would be my pick here at 84. That's who I'd pick, that the Bucs would take a guy that's coming off injury, fills a need. I think comes in and he's fucking ridiculously good on top of that. I don't think Omar Law out of Tennessee is going to be there, by the way.
No,
that's
he's already gone.
He's way gone.
Omar Latt's going to be taken early.
Yeah, I mean, that's a guy you would trade down to 19 and get at 25, but you're not getting him at 84. I don't think so. I think he's too damn good. And he was a guy that met with.
I'd love that, if we drafted an interior guy like him, especially somebody who can, give us some additional pass rush. But yeah, I mean, I think that I don't know, based on the fact that we took an edge rusher, you can't pass on Demetrius Knight Jr. You'd have to, I'm sure it will be discussion though.
Yeah, because Jason likes his interior guys on both sides of the ball. So far we've gone Donovan Ezraku, Demetrius Knight Jr., and here at 84, Stank, unless you are disagreeing with me, I believe it should be Winston Jr., the safety out of Penn State at 84.
I'm not saying I don't like that pick, but
Kobe Bryant could be a guy you could grab at 84 too.
Kobe, he's been consistent.
Yeah, he kind of falls between 84 and 121. We seem to miss out on him on most of the mocks if we wait. Sammer,
this is a guy that you probably have seen more than me, and that's Ezra Thomas from Florida State.
Not taking him at 84. I don't like him more than the other guys are available. I would take Kobe Bryant over him in a heartbeat. And I feel like I'm talking myself into Kobe Bryant right now, honestly, over Winston Jr. Because again, RJ Mickens is kind of my guy in my back pocket as a safety that I could still grab later on. So if I go 84 Kobe Bryant, That's a pretty damn good pick considering who I have on my board and who I really like for that very next pick after him, which is again another corner. So yeah, I think I've convinced myself it's Kobe Bryant, man. If Kobe Bryant is there at 84, it's Kobe fucking Bryant. Sorry,
Yeah,
I love Winston
I like
Jr.,
Kobe.
but I think there's safeties that could still be had later on. And I like the kid out of Ohio State that could play safety and nickel. So, you know what? Predictive. I mean, you're not really giving me much push on this either, Snake. I feel like Kobe Bryant should be the pick at 84 here.
I'm a guy who kind of need the mock draft, bro. I'm so lost right now.
I'm giving you all. We're basing it on what we've gone through.
I'm so lost. All right, I like who's actually going to be available.
You got to just remember. You got to remember who we've gone through and who we've discussed, and we've got what's her name taking notes for us the whole time. We've got all the drafts that we've gone through
What's her name?
Are in front of
What's her name?
Oh,
yeah, only took one episode. Are in front of Vixen's screen.
Hey,
so
that's actually a compliment. All right. If you think about it, like, you know, he usually calls people way worse.
Yeah, I agree.
Touché.
Listen, I think it's Kobe Bryant. 84, Kobe Bryant finally attacked the secondary here in the third round. Gave me Kobe Bryant. I don't care what he's ranked. If he's there at 84, that man is a buck. He's going to be wearing a lot of white and pewter because we don't really wear the red. So I think
you just love the name. Honestly,
I do. I love the name too. Huge Kobe Bryant guy.
That's the main reason you like that kid.
My son's name is Kobe. I feel like that's the guy.
There you go.
All right.
You want to scream that name. You want to get that jersey.
Listen, I'm giving you a chance to give me a push or a pull on Winston Jr. over him, Kobe Bryant over him. But now I'm like I'm convinced I go Kobe Bryant over Winston Jr. here. Give me that cornerback one. He's right there. He's gonna beat out Jamel Dean in camp for that spot. He's gonna have some struggles too. Don't get me wrong.
We're gonna see a new Jamel Dean this year, right? This kid has got to know he
knows
his days are numbered.
I think he also knows he's gonna have to compete for that job. He's not gonna just get it. So I've given you multiple chances to talk me off one guy or the other, and you're just not. So write it down, Vixen. The pick at 84, Kobe Bryant, Kansas City.
It's a little early for Kobe.
I already got it down.
Yeah, I think it's a little early for Kobe, but that's fine.
Now you push after I ever write it down.
I'm just saying, you know.
I would have went with the safety out of Texas if he's still there, Makuba. One that trade. Yeah, I would have gone with what Trevor had like 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
I would have gone with him.
Well, you know,
like if we're looking for secondary help, it would either be between Kobe or Winston or Makuba, in my opinion.
I think if all three of those guys are there, I just feel like Kobe Bryant wins that discussion, man. This dude's a dog. It's
Kobe still there.
Yeah, there is some favoritism there.
I read today somebody said that we're trading Rashad White, so maybe we should start talking about running backs here.
Yeah, I heard about that. I heard about that too.
Yeah.
Unless all of a sudden they have some guy.
Scadaboo is the guy, right? Because I've seen his photo and then the Bucs logo on like every time Pewter Report posts something. For some reason, they use Scadaboo's thumbnail, and I'm like, "What are you trying to tell me, man? All right, what are you trying to tell me here? Because yes, it'd be fun to see that kid, you know, wear number, I don't know, 39, 41.
My thing
somewhere
is,
in that right range.
Until they get a guy that's going to pick up the blitz, I'm not sure how they're going to be able to trade Rashad White because nobody other than him right now is going to be able to do it. No tight end can do it. No running back can do it. I mean, that's just reality. That's why he was playing at the end of games when they needed to pass the ball and it wasn't Bucky out there most of the time. Guy can pick up the blitz.
You know, if that's true, right? Maybe it's agents floating out there. We all know behind the scenes what we've heard. They're not giving away for nothing. Okay, somebody's gonna have to pay for that guy.
No,
you know, in with draft stock. So I just don't see it happening, man. I really don't. Rashad's too valuable to this team. He's one injury away from being the guy toting the rock again. You just don't know. So,
and you want that guy.
Bucky started 3 games this year. His numbers were incredible. He only started 3 games. So carries wise, I guess you could make an argument that he started more, but
yeah, but at the end of the day,
I don't feel comfortable getting rid of Rashad.
Say he goes down, you need the guy that steps right in to be able to do everything, and not a guy as opposed to the opposite. If Rashad goes down, now you're kind of stuck with the guy who can only do 1 or 2 things as opposed to all those things. And that's no knock on Bucky, but that's just the truth. You know, the truth of the matter. You weren't seeing Maurice
I'm kind of
Jones-Drew
tired. I'm
picking up
kind of
the blitz
tired of
either.
holding on to the truth.
She talking about my boy Bucky like that. No, I'm just
I'm
kidding.
not taking
I'm
shots
kind
at
of
it.
tired of sitting on the
Whoa.
truth, Sammer, and I feel like we should let it all right out. Liam and Rashad, they can get along. Rashad hated looking at Liam's face. Okay,
I mean, who liked looking at Liam's
fucking
face?
hated looking
Who
at his
liked looking at
stupid
his
face.
face, dude? Ugh.
Not Rashad. Okay,
I'm ashamed that I was his cross-eyed brother.
yeah. So that's part of the reason he fell out of favor.
Are you related to him? Is he?
Are you? Wait a second.
No, I am not
you-
related, and I'm glad I'm not.
Are you a plant? Are you a
plant?
fucking Liam
Whoa.
Cohen? Are you a Liam Cohen plant?
Yeah, are you?
Do you see any teal on my body?
Are you a
Do you
snake?
see?
Are you a snake in the grass?
Do
Are
you-
you?
snake?
Do you see? I know a
his,
snake.
his wife blocked me because I made that snake graphic, and it went pretty
Oh,
viral.
yeah.
And his wife.
Are you
blocked me.
serious?
Yeah.
All right. Let's get refocused here. 84. The pick is Kobe Bryant. We all agree here.
Are you sure? You sure?
100%
No.
Kobe Bryant.
All right.
Whoa, wait.
Whoa,
Stank said
what
no.
Stank? What? You
I would
Think
take
that no.
Scatterboo. Rashad's gone. I'm taking Scatterboo. So anyway,
Shots on God.
We're taking Kobe. We're taking Kobe.
Oh my
I'm
god.
about to say we're
Bucks
not
by
taking
30.
Scatterboo at 84.
Bucks by 30 says someone told Izzy to look inside himself and he took it literally. I like it.
Damn.
Yep. All right.
Damn.
The next pick.
Getting all philosophical.
Our next-
Jonas is about to get blocked for putting the snake thing up there. I feel like that's a shot against me.
No, I mean no. It's probably a shot at what's his name. All right, so our next spot is 121. A guy that we picked here almost every single one of our mocks. Cornerback out of California, Noel Williams fits Todd Bowles' exact template in terms of the cornerback position. We just got Kobe Bryant though. Will we go 2 outside corners, which I think is definitely a possibility considering the fact that we don't really have guys behind Zion and Jamel Dean who are worth a fuck. And now you got Kobe Bryant, Jamel Dean, Zion McCollum. I think you add Noel Williams. Or do we hold off here, Stank, and try to, get the kid out of Rutgers or possibly Quincy Riley at 157 here? I just think if Noel Williams is there, Noel Williams is the pick.
I mean, I'm sick of it, bro. I'm fucking sick of this shit. I yell every time I hear somebody else's mock draft, and we have no fucking beef yet.
No
okay.
beef.
Right? The backs are small, right? We got shallow, slim cheeks. We need some beef in here, bro. Okay? We need somebody to get some girth up in the middle. 'Cause I'm just tired.
Vixen.
Are they as slim as your Slim Jim cigarette you got going on over there?
Wow. Can't believe you just took a shot at that guy's meat.
This mock draft is that slim so far.
All right, Vixen.
Is it too early for Tonka? I feel like
Vic-
it's too early.
It's too early for Tonka still, but Vixen, have we
Tonka's a fifth-round
gone?
pick.
Have we gone interior defensive line at all at 121?
Not usually, no.
Yeah, I'm looking through some of these, and it's never been that guy.
Well, Shamar Turner's not there at this point.
No.
He's gone off the board, right? A guy, Ty
Shamar's
Robinson, we've
usually
talked
gone.
about.
What
Ty
about
Robinson,
Piggy?
we talked about Nebraska.
What about Piggies?
Piggies, Cameron
Piggies.
Jackson.
Yeah, but Ty
Piggies,
Robinson is
yeah.
more like a. I don't think you take him at 121. That's a bit high for him, in my opinion. But
Yeah, he
why-
usually goes in the last round, maybe most of the time.
Oh, we
Jordan,
can talk.
Jordan Phillips after fucking out of Maryland. All these guys, bro, they fit. Okay, they fit because anything is better than Greg Gaines. Every one of these guys right here is an upgrade.
What
Every
if
single
we talk Logan Brown, offensive tackle out of Kansas? We go another Kansas kid right here, offensive tackle. Do we go wide receiver?
We went back to back Kansas last time.
Yeah. Do we go wide receiver here? We haven't addressed that position. I still think that's a spot that people aren't paying attention to.
Is Kyle Williams there?
Kyle Williams would be there. Might be a
Okay.
little early to take him, but he would definitely
Mhm.
be there. So, according to the mocks at least that we've gone through.
Okay.
Would it be reasonable to take a wide receiver at this point? Or
Sure.
would we rather wait later
Absolutely.
on?
You could wait later on too. That's kind of that position that kind of seems to be available there in these next few spots. But if no Williams is there,
can we
like
get-
I said, remember to ask that question to Scott. If there was a guy in our draft board that I would bet would be a Buck, we both agreed it was Noel Williams. So if Noel Williams 121, I feel like we take care of a lot of needs there. But we could also go safety there.
But here's a name I don't think we've actually drafted. And somehow I saw a little bit of tape on the guy, YouTube clips or whatever, But I'm sure when they were scouting Bucky last year, they saw a guy named Tez Johnson. Tez is fucking. He's an athlete. Okay, let's just say this kid's got something in him. All right. So if we want to shake it up, and you're not going to give me a big back, give me a small back that can fucking just go places.
I mean, I'm trying to think. I agree with you that we do need a defensive lineman here. I feel like we've ignored that spot for a bit too long at this point. Who could it be though? That's the thing. So I don't think Tonka's the guy you take here, but if you like him, you take him, right, Stank? And I think you're limited. You have 157 and 235 after this, right? So who? I'm trying to get here. Let me pull up some of these names that should be in that range at 121 defensive lineman. Okay, Ty Robinson out of Nebraska. Okay, that's a guy. JJ Piggies. Okay.
Piggies.
Okay. Yep. Tim Smith, guy out of Alabama, a little bit down in that 173, 183 range. And then you got Tonka, 187, 180.
I think you're forgetting, and the chat loves this guy, and that's Anus Pebbles, bro. They love
who? Anus Pebbles.
Anus Pebbles. Bro.
Oh yeah.
Bro, you know what? You can't ignore Anus Pebbles.
Listen,
it's actually Greek, by the way. It's a Greek name, and it's not pronounced like that. But
there was a great Anus in Arizona for years, Hall of Famer, right? And Anus Williams.
Anus Williams, yeah.
Anus Pebbles. Holy smokes! That's a name.
I think it's too high to go. Tonka. If you don't go corner here, you still have the ability to go get that other kid out of Rutgers we talked about. You could also go get Quincy Riley, who I know the Bucs would absolutely be able to fit in, especially if Tyke moves to safety, right? We don't have to get a safety necessarily. Tyke moves back there, you get Quincy Riley, he's playing that spot. But that's a 157 pick. So at 121, you know what, man? We could go Piggies or Ty Robinson here. Honestly, it really wouldn't be that bad of a pick. And it's the Nebraska connection. It answers a need inside. You get rid of fucking Greg Gaines finally. You can tell that motherfucker to hit the street. 6'6", 310 pounds. I mean, and the kid does a lot of what we need him to do. Pass rush, run defense. Stank, I like it. 25 hurries from your defensive lineman. It'd be pretty damn good, man. Pretty damn
good.
Run
the card up, bro. Run the card up.
So we're going after the Nebraska kid?
Jason Light, former Nebraska big back. Yeah. Drafting another Nebraska big back. I think it works.
I think it works. I'd hate to say no to my guy, Noah Williams, but might have to put out my own.
We're going with Ty?
I think we're going with Ty Robinson. Let's get some beef on this fucking draft. I agree with Stank. All right.
Thank
I
you,
rarely
bro.
agree. I rarely agree with the pale one, but he has convinced me that we need some beef. And we missed out on beef earlier. I think it's time to take the beef now. Ty Robinson out of Nebraska at 121 feels good. Feels good on my inside.
Sam are listening to me. I'm to crack a beer for that one.
Hell yeah.
Oh wait! Let me crack my drink too. Hold on.
What do you got there?
What you got there?
Oh, sugar-free Red Bull.
Oh, she had the sugar-free joint.
Little baby drink.
No.
What are you drinking, Izzy?
Just some plain old H2O.
Contact lens solution?
Is it high quality H2O?
High quality H2O. But
mama
said.
You look and sound too much.
H2O too.
You look and sound way too good for that, dude.
You are the official water boy of this podcast from now on.
Hell yeah. Yes, you are. Izzy, water boy. All right.
Mama said.
Next pick is 157. Okay.
Okay, is Noah Williams available during this round?
I don't think so. I think Noah Williams is gone. We had a chance to take him. You guys said no. I think they got to go corner here. I think you give me Quincy Riley all day long. He plays the slot. You already got your big corner in Kobe Bryant. Yeah. Now you got a guy that
give me the board. Give me the board. I need to know what the fuck we've taken so far, position wise.
We've gone Donovan Izaraku.
For the old people in chat.
Demetrius Knight Jr., okay? We went Kobe Bryant after that. Then we went Ty Robinson, defensive lineman. And now I believe it's time to go quarterback yet again.
Quarterback or corner?
Cornerback, no.
Cornerback.
I thought you said quarter. I was like, whoa, hold on now.
No, Easy, slap your own face for me because that's ridiculous. Okay.
Wait, did Shadur fall all the way to the 5th round?
No, I wouldn't take him
We
anyway.
can take a flyer on him here in the 5th.
Still wouldn't take him. 157. I think it should be Quincy Riley here. Stank, you have any opposition in that? Are you going to fight me again?
Yeah, because I like, we need a weapon. I feel like we need a guy that can,
Okay.
Potentially kick Trey Palmer off the team. That would be nice.
Whoa! Don't do that.
Also, we haven't gone safety yet. RJ Mickens is in this range because this is kind of where you'd have to go safety for him at least. Wide receivers. Let me think here. The kid out of Arkansas, Tesla would be here. Mumfield, the kid out of Pitt. And
Is
then
Nick Nash, Patty Wet, give our dog the ball there?
No, he's not connected to the Bucs whatsoever. A guy who is connected to the Bucs, wide receiver out of Virginia Tech, Jalen Lane would be a good one to take here if we were to take a weapon. Because we could always fall on that Zay kid out of UTSP, I believe it was.
UTSA,
that athlete down at at the end of the draft. So because we've only got one corner.
Is Kyle
so far.
Williams still there?
No.
Because on a couple of them, no, he's gone.
No way.
Okay.
I like Quincy Riley.
And Tez is not here in the 5th, right?
No, I like Quincy Riley here. It's either that or RJ Mickens at safety if you want to ignore cornerback for one more round and kind of. I just don't see them not drafting 2 corners before 235. So if it's me, it's Quincy Riley. I'm ignoring the wide receiver, and even the safety at this point.
I'm just looking at other positions like guard. I know it's okay, man. We're here in the wee hours, right? It's day 3.
Logan Brown, maybe
you're eating leftover pizza. There's not that many people still left in Wisconsin. Everybody left. Everybody's trying to get back home early. They're not here for day 3.
All right, so you got tackle out of Kansas though. You got Logan Brown.
Yep.
And like I said, Jalen Lane is a guy the Bucs do like out of Virginia Tech. He's a wide receiver. Will they not go corner though? Because you made me not go corner last pick. I feel like corner would have to be the guy.
We've drafted one corner. We could take another corner if you're trying to go back to back, or you're trying to double up on the position here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we need safeties. We definitely need safeties.
We need depth at safety. I don't know how we have 5 safeties.
No, I mean, RJ Mickens.
We don't have 5 starting safeties.
I just can't see us ignoring corner for RJ Mickens. That's the only thing. So, and yes, like somebody just said in the draft, corner is a bigger problem than the safety position last year. And I think if you solidify that spot, safety can be a guy you could get off of some cuts. Maybe free agency, guys still hanging around. You fill out your roster with. You still also have Izzian, as much as I hate to say that. And of course, the whole thing with Tyke Smith is that maybe he's a guy who can now play safety. If you get a Quincy Riley, he fits right into the slot nickel got position. Now you got a guy who plays down in there. You have him. You have Izzian, or not Izzian. Tyke Smith can now flip back, maybe play back and forth. Have a little bit of a rotating musical chairs scenario that actually works in your favor. Quincy Riley's my pick here at 157.
I like it. I like Quincy.
Jordan Hancock, is he? Give me your take on him. Your Ohio State guy.
Hancock would be a solid. He was a corner. He's solid inside slot corner. Can convert to the outside.
Being projected as a safety.
Being projected safety. Okay, he can run. He can run as a he plays both. He can play both corner and safety. You can put him in the slot, and then you have Tyke. And also, I believe we haven't taken the safety yet. So you have Tyke, you have Antoine both in the back. But if you needed that extra depth and you had to switch somebody over, you could have Hancock go ahead and flip safety and use either Izzian as an extra slot while you have Antoine and him in the backfield as well. So you would be adding to the depth.
And you also potentially have Jalen Reed around that point, Malachi Moore. Those are all guys who might be here in that range.
Those should be kind of a reach though, compared to it's either Mickens, in my opinion, Jalen Reed, or not Jalen Reed, Jalen what's his name? The wide receiver out of Virginia Tech. Jalen Lane or Quincy Riley. Quincy Riley's my pick, honestly. That's what I would go with.
I would go Quincy Riley for right now.
Stank.
All right, run it up.
I don't want to see Thunderbird out there. And so I feel like the more corners I can get
Thunderbird.
I don't think anybody
Thunderbird.
Thunderbird.
Yeah. So
Thunderbird.
at this point, that's the pick for me. Quincy Riley.
I
Write
mean,
it down.
is Huzzy still out there?
Hussey? I believe we missed out on Hussey last in the last round or so.
I don't. PFF has him as their 176th ranked player. So this would kind of fall right around where we're at right now.
Quincy Riley, better player, man.
All right, let's do it.
And that brings us to 235.
Which is wild. We don't have a 6th-round pick.
I think they'll make a move and
Yeah,
then they'll have that
I do
6.
too.
I think they'll end up with 7 picks at some point. They could have even gone Logan Brown out of Kansas to tackle there at that spot. So it all just depends. But I do think they'll end up with they'll fill out one more pick in some way by moving down in that second day. Even though the rumors are saying the Bucs are going to move up into the first round again after their, I don't see that shit happening. So 235 stank. We haven't gotten a safety. Okay, there's going to be some safeties left over. There's going to be some wide receivers left over, like the kid out of Pittsburgh, Mumfield. There's going to be a linebacker out of Georgia. There's still going to be Nicholas.
I say we add a weapon here, okay? A Jimmy Horn Jr., Dyke from Florida, Nick Nash Paddywhack. All those guys will potentially be there. Elijah Badger, maybe Florida State. Those are all guys that you could see potentially pushing.
What about Moose Muhammad III? Okay,
Moose Muhammad,
son of, I believe his dad is the wide receiver who played for the Carolina Panthers. I don't think he's draftable, honestly.
Yeah, he was a buck killer, by the way.
Yeah.
Moose Muhammad.
Hated that guy, dude. Couldn't stand him because of so many. Jordan Hancock seems to be available a lot of times at this spot. I mean,
Is Zon Frazier still available too?
Yeah, he's almost always available at this spot.
Cody says it's pronounced DK, okay, but it's spelled Dyke. All right,
it's definitely Dyke.
Yeah, so I sounded it out, and that's what came out of my mouth.
I mean, Malachi Moore. We haven't gone safety. Malachi Moore could still be a guy here. If it's me, I'm getting another corner only because this kid is ridiculously athletic, and you don't have to start him immediately. You give him a time to adjust, and get as many of those shit corners that we had last year out of the fucking building. So I would.
How many corners are you gonna draft? 3?
I'm going 3 corners. Absolutely.
We're gonna completely ignore the wide receiver position. We're gonna completely ignore the fact that we need a tackle that could potentially swing inside.
Yeah.
Third. No, fuck you.
I'm doing it.
Yeah, this isn't your draft.
All right, then who are you filling in? Who are you filling in? Who are you filling in, Stank?
I want a weapon.
Mumfield Jr. out of Pittsburgh would be a pick that would be available in that 235 spot, in my opinion.
I don't really like his name. Kanata?
Mumfield? Yeah, dude. Right the wrong of Kenyatta Walker with the new Kanata. I mean,
actually,
probably drives a Hyundai Sonata.
It does kind of roll off the tongue.
Drives a Hyundai Sonata.
Yeah, Kanata in the Sonata.
Oh my gosh.
Kanata Mumfield. I like Mumfield. It just sounds cool.
What's he look like?
You sold me on him. Let's look him up.
Yep.
What's he look like?
Yeah, what's he like? You guys always ask that. I was doing it. I was supposed to play Stank tonight, so I was just doing it for him.
Yeah, I don't know how many.
Let's see what Kanata
I don't know how many Google searches are going into what the guys look like from $1, but I do like Malachi Moore here too. Stank. You're being a bit crazy about forcing a wide receiver pick here.
Do we really need a wide receiver though? I mean,
we kind of do.
We
kind of do. But I don't want to. I don't want to just take a guy there just to take him, especially if Malachi Moore is there. I still like that.
And also, we could possibly get a wide receiver as an undrafted free agent.
There's gonna be
I say we stick with the wide receiver position.
Wide receiver.
The wide receiver position. we go Mumfield.
Mumfield,
I like this kid. Yep.
All right, Mumfield is the 235th, the 235th
wow.
pick. I believe Frazier is still somebody that could come in as an undrafted free agent. That could still happen. There's going to be a bunch of those guys. Expect a bunch of offensive linemen to be picks that we bring in like that, especially if we don't take the kid Logan Brown and maybe one of those other guys, Jonas Steckler, is that his name? No.
Yeah, we've already decided we're not drafting Jonas.
No, that was actually not his name, obviously. Yeah, I mean, read back this predictive mock so far. At this point, not so far. the actual pick, the mock.
So round 1, pick 19, we got Donovan Ezeraku. Round 2, pick 53, we got Demetrius Knight Jr. Round 3, pick 84, Kobe Bryant, cornerback. Round 4, pick 121, we got the defensive lineman Ty Robinson. Pick 157, round 5, cornerback Quincy Riley. Round 7, pick 235, we got that wide receiver Mumfield.
Okay. I'm pretty happy with that. I don't mind how that played out. I don't like that you didn't let me go safety in 3 corners, but whatever.
Maybe if you would have traded, you could
So
have got
possibility.
some.
We didn't want to. I don't know how to do that
I-
in terms of predictive mock drafting, but I think that's a pretty good draft, Stank.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be happy walking away if we are able to fill all those holes. The top 2 guys I think are are impact players right away.
Anytime you can fill all the holes at once, I feel
I'm
like
sorry.
you're winning, and that's kind of the game, right? You want to try to fill as many holes as possible at the same time, and that's
Stuffing
when
holes, make sure nothing gets through.
yeah,
Done.
and
Done.
and when you can find the guys that can fill those holes properly, I feel
Johnson?
I feel like you come away pretty damn happy, right, Stank?
I'm happy.
You like filling all those holes. You like getting all those holes filled.
I do. I'm an equal opportunity hole filler.
Oh yeah.
Whoa.
Oh yeah.
Jesus.
Izzy can't contain himself. Vixen has no
Can you
ability to
imagine-
even stop laughing.
Hold on a second. Let's just talk about what's coming up this week. All right. This was one of the worst shows we've ever done. Do we all agree?
Tonight? No, I thought it was a great show.
No, it was a great show.
It's
One of the worst
fantastic. What do you hate?
I
It's
felt
awesome.
I felt completely lost this entire show.
It's because
We're
listen,
going to-
listen. It's because
great.
it's because you didn't pay attention to any of the mock drafts. Those were the class
What do you-
sessions. Those were
what do you
class.
mean?
No, those were class for us, and this was the
I paid
test.
attention. I just
No.
don't remember, bro. I
You
don't
didn't pay
remember shit.
attention to class. We did 6 different sessions with teachers. You didn't pay attention. Now we come here to the open book test, and you're fucking lost. You haven't highlighted anything. You haven't taken any notes, and you haven't retained any information that the teachers taught us. And yet you're trying to blame us and say the show sucked because you're just not a good student.
I
guess
think we got
fucking
an
slacker.
A plus. I
You're-
think
He's the guy
I
that-
give
my
us an
point
A
is-
plus.
You're a
My
fucking
This is
point
the
slacker.
guy that will look
we're
over
gonna
your
be
shoulder
we're gonna
to
be
try and get the
live.
right
We're gonna be live
answers.
for like 15 hours over the next 6
It's gonna be
days.
great.
We're gonna have a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
So before I forget, hit the like button because this was an amazing episode, and then hit
Wait,
the
Cali
subscribe
Bucks,
button.
Cali Bucks, you don't get to come in at the end of the show and say that's why I fell out of college. All right.
I can't.
Sean
laugh,
Ray said.
I can't laugh at that. I dropped out.
Sean Ray says y'all shouldn't have had my dog singing the NFL draft theme song, and maybe he'd have remembered the picks.
Thank you.
I still have that clip, by the way.
Do you sing it to the tune of Animaniacs, and then you can never forget.
I think you should sing it to the tune.
Stank doesn't know Animaniacs.
Oh, no,
Stank-
no.
Stank- Stank is so
You
much
gotta
older
pay
than us.
extra to hear me sing. That's
Vixen.
extra.
Vixen, you do realize, all right? Like
Yeah.
our boy Izzy, we put him through a lot. Okay.
Mhm.
There's
They
gonna
made
be
me
some-
read.
There's gonna be some level of hazing. Right. Go ahead. You go ahead.
Go ahead, tell her.
Yeah, tell her.
Okay, Vixen.
Tell me
Vixen,
what? Oh, no.
Here's what you can expect as a new intern.
Yeah.
They will make you do some outlandish things. Like with me, my first show was like the call-in show. They had me sing R. Kelly's "In the Closet," chapter 9, by the way.
Yep.
The one with the midget was great.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I almost finished the song, but I cracked up at the end. I had to stop.
You were
And
terrible.
the second one,
You were terrible, by the way. It was absolutely horrible. It was horrendous.
you know what?
You
I like to
nearly,
give
you
myself-
nearly had a nervous breakdown on that show as well.
Yeah,
I've already had a nervous breakdown
really
multiple
did.
times where I couldn't speak full
Really did.
sentences.
Pretty close.
I really did.
You
I
guys
really
are
did.
terrible.
And then
All right, so hold on.
this-
So what Dr. Seuss are we gonna make her read right now on the spot? Officially, I'm sorry. First time
Blue
on.
Fish.
It's your first time on camera. All right, we literally have to break your loose cannon's cherry. So how are
Right.
we gonna do that other than having you read
Yeah.
some Dr. Seuss? So let's get
I feel
some
like
Dr. Seuss
Yeah, I feel like Dr. Seuss is the way to go.
Yeah, so let's get some
Redfish,
Dr. Seuss
bluefish.
recommendations in the chat, okay? The one that catches my eye and makes me laugh will be the one that she's going to have to read. Bryce says hop on pop.
One fish? Wait, what's that? One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish? Come on, somebody.
Yes.
Got it.
I'll do that.
Got it.
I'll do that.
No,
Come on.
that's way too easy. What do you, how about
Yeah,
we make it
I
easy?
know. It's
Stank.
easy.
I
We
think
should-
B-Shuck was here last time. He was the decider last time.
Yeah.
B-Shuck
No,
was.
Bishop was gonna have me read some like 19th century literature, and then y'all flipped it to Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, dude, imagine if we would have had you read actual literature. You couldn't read Dr. Seuss without dying. You almost died on that episode. If we would have had you read
like-
actual sentences, what do you think would have happened?
You know what? You know what's funny though?
He still
After
says
I
he needs to rap the Llama Llama book. What's that?
yes,
What is that?
yes,
What is that?
Mama Llama puts her llama in bed. It's a funny clip.
What?
What if I read one of those books about balls?
No,
Or no, yes, they're hilarious. Or
Wait,
cooking.
hey,
No.
what book?
The
What
ones
books
that are
about
adult
balls are
books,
you
but they're
talking
hilarious.
about?
Mama Llama has got to be it. She's got
Mama
to rap
Llama.
that.
What ball books are you talking about?
Yeah, what? Yeah, can you
Wait, hold on. Wait, ball
Can you
books? Ball
please
books.
expand on the balls books?
I thought so,
Here we
B-Shuck.
go.
Oh no. So they're like technically picture books for adults, but it like talks about different kinds of balls or cookie. Like, do you want to eat my cookie? And she goes around, the female goes around to different people, and then like the men respond in different ways to her, like, oh no, I'm not hungry for your cookie. And then like they're hilarious. You're gonna have to look them up. You're gonna have to
Whoa.
look them up on YouTube.
Whoa. Wait,
What?
I don't know what
This is
type
a
of
book-
book you're reading.
these are
That
books?
doesn't sound like it's kid friendly.
These are books. How about
You know what?
Yeah,
how about
these are
everybody?
Why-
How about we have
That's
you
why
read
they're
Everybody Poops?
Yeah. No wonder they're banning books in my state. That's a real book.
Llama Llama Red Pajama.
Yes.
Wait,
she
I
asked.
think
That's it.
I'm looking at
That's gotta
I'm
be it.
looking at this, and I think we need to. I think that's what she needs to do. Llama Llama Red Pajama.
Yes.
Llama Llama Red Pajama. Oh my gosh.
And you
Bring it
have
up.
to rap it. You
Yeah,
cannot
for those
just
of
read
you
it.
who are new,
Can I
the
just do
Loose
a
Cannons-
poem instead?
The
Nope.
Loose
poem?
Cannons podcast is definitely rated M for mature. Hey, listen, let me remind you two fucking interns one thing, okay? When we are talking, the twos of us here, you guys don't get to
Twos.
just speak, okay? You need to learn to fucking
The
shut
twos
the
of
hell up.
yous.
Yeah,
The twos
two
of
of
yous.
yous. The twos of yous need to learn when the twos of us are talking not to talk. That's all. You know, it's kind of a little thing you gotta make sure I mention in there.
Wait till
But
Latte's
yeah,
here, and it's the
go
fives
get-
of us.
Yeah, go get the llama book, okay? And in the meantime,
see
I'm
it.
going to tell you guys all. No, I'm
Pull it
talking
up,
to
Vixen.
Vixen. Pull up the llama book,
Pull
okay?
up the Llama book.
Listen,
Right now?
Dude,
Let
We're
me
doing
read-
this now?
You're
let
doing
me
it
s-
now.
let me remind you guys,
Now?
okay? While you find the
Now.
llama book, this week is going to be pretty fucking epic for us, okay? You're going to see us on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and we're going to be an hour early for every one of the draft nights / days because we're going to open up the phone lines for you guys to come on, talk shit with us, ask us questions about what you think might happen, might not happen, and talk about what happened the day before for an hour before the actual picks begin. In the meantime, see this amazing hat I'm wearing? The show all 3 of those days will be presented by our friends reversebrand.com. They make these amazing hats. We are going to be rocking the limited edition, okay, Mike Evans 1,000 yard hat that they made specifically for him and his foundation. And those will be the hats. I believe they come in 3 different colorways that we will be giving out in some way or another throughout each one of those shows. We're going to be giving away 2 hats to somebody in the chat, somebody who calls in, something like that. There's 3 colorways. You get to take home one of those hats. And of course, we're going to have a new discount code available on their site to save you 20% off. The 20% off will directly go towards the Mike Evans Foundation at the end of the month or whatever, however they end up doing it all. But that 20% is going to actually be something that goes in as a donation as well. So make sure you guys join us on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I believe Saturday and Friday we will have plus of Real Bucs Talk the entire show. He will be
Thank
with
God.
us for the first 45 minutes-ish, okay, of the first night until Latte is at his seat. So we will have plus kind of pre-gaming the draft with us as well. We'll have some other people kind of popping in throughout as well. We'll react live. We'll discuss the picks live. We'll talk about the Jason Light move to get more picks or maybe move up. We'll see how it all plays out. But it's going to be us live. And we will have, by the way, the picks on screen. So you will not miss it because we will have the reverse brand ticker at the bottom of the screen that'll keep you guys up to date on those picks as they happen, as close to live as possible. So that's going to be pretty damn fun. Vixen, are you ready to read?
She's looking mighty nervous right now.
Woohoo.
I'm trying to find the script actually.
I found it really easily. You
Yeah.
look up llama book words. That's what I put into Google, and then look up images, and it's right there.
That's what I did.
Could you believe how badly Izzy did on green eggs and ham, though?
It was real bad.
Like,
The
how?
crazy part is though, they actually helped me read. That's the weird part. I'm not lying. I got better reading the comments after
Right
that
here,
one episode.
right here on the show. That's what we do here. All right?
We're educating.
That's why-
We're the
yeah.
reading rainbow of 2025.
The loose
what?
cannons
That actually got me a little
over
emotional.
Make a Wish.
How is it saying that we've gone 0 for 2 for interns that can read? Like,
Butterflies.
I can read. Wait. I can read. Okay. Are you
can-
ready?
Are you
Can I
ready?
just-
Here we go.
We're
Can
ready.
What? Make sure you give us the title, okay? And Hooked on Cannons worked for me.
I said it's hooked on
Hooked on cannons. Yes. That's
Now,
a new
all right,
shirt.
so check this out. I feel like we
totally
need to
shirt.
put out a book now. I feel like we need to
do.
put out a nursery rhyme book
I agree.
for adults, okay? Maybe, you know,
It's gonna,
Zap-
it's gonna be Ball and Johnson based.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Oh,
Don't
Fucking
we'll call
mosquitoes.
it Don't Bank on Stank. Now that'll be the
don't
Dr.
bank
Seuss.
on steak.
Yeah, it'll be great. It'll be Stank falling over, hitting himself, all sorts of things that can go down. All right,
I
You
was
gotta-
gonna write a children's book called "Where Are Your Shoes At."
yeah, that's a good one too.
Okay.
Reminder, Vixen, you're supposed to rap this actually, not read it.
What?
So
Yeah.
Freestyle it.
yep.
Oh.
Freestyle it.
Yeah. So I'm assuming you're gonna need a beat. So my boy Izzy here, okay, cross-eyed
Oh my
wonder himself,
gosh.
is gonna beatbox for your beat for this llama book that I have no idea anything about. Okay. So
It's
Izzy,
gonna be so
Wait.
this
Why
is
am I
gonna
involved in
be some of the
this?
worst shit we've ever done on the show.
This is gonna be horrible.
Wow.
This is gonna be horrible.
It has to be
Can
rapped.
you-
Everybody said you have to rap it, apparently.
Who said that?
Everyone.
Who's
Supposedly-
everybody?
Supposedly.
Yeah, everybody in the chat. So
Yeah, let's see. Let's see. Everybody's talking about grabbing their popcorn. Don't forget to rap.
yeah, you gotta rap.
New York drill beats. Oh man, this is gonna be horrifying.
Izzy hit it.
Hey, look. I don't know what.
Hey, she's ready to
Oh,
rap,
sh-
dude. Izzy, are
oh,
you
she's right.
Izzy's
Go
gonna
for
fuck it up for her somehow.
I really am.
Go
Don't
for it.
don't do that to me. No, sir. Freestyle. She got to freestyle this off the dome. Let's
Freestyle. Go.
Izzy, go. Give us a beat. Come on.
Ah, why do I
It's
gotta
not
do
that
this?
hard, dude. Come on.
Llama, red pajama. Reads a story with his mama. Kisses baby's hair. Llama goes downstairs. Pajama feels alone without his mama baby. Llama wants a drink.
How white can this show get? Here we are. It's pretty damn white.
Can I stop?
No.
No.
No,
This
that was
is-
good,
No,
bro.
keep going.
That
Keep
was
going.
so much better than what Izzy did. Go.
How are you that off rhythm though? Izzy, give us an actual.
There's a delay. There's a delay. That was a good beat. That was a good
No,
beat.
hey, so Dave
All right.
OG said white girl rhythm.
Yeah. All right. Let's scratch it. Go.
You got to
Let's
remember,
go.
she's
Let's go,
getting
Izzy.
a delay. She's getting
I
a
No.
delay.
am.
She's not getting a delay. She's not.
Shit.
I'm hearing him live. Let's go.
Oh shit. Hold on. Can I get a drink of water real quick, please?
No, oh, dude, you're dying again. This is
No,
what
no,
happened to
no.
you during green eggs and
I'm la-
ham,
no, I'm-
dude.
it's- No, I'm just I'm laughing way too hard. Give me a
I've had
second.
enough. I've had enough.
That
He's
was a,
tapping out.
the
No,
beat didn't match
no.
the story. That's the thing. I felt like it
Yeah.
was a bit.
She had white girl. She had that white girl rhythm. Like she was offbeat. I made it super simple.
Oh,
All right.
I'm sorry.
feeling
I'm
it.
sorry. I'm like the palest white there gets.
I was
Okay.
I was feeling it.
You're
I mean,
feeling it?
I was feeling it.
Stank was feeling it.
Got some
Yeah.
weird.
I don't know.
We got the two weirdest interns in the closet. Okay.
Weirdest.
Yeah, we have the weirdest interns ever. Izzy.
Welcome to
Oh.
my domain.
All right. Hey, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit the
Yeah.
subscribe button, and we will see you next Thursday. And Closet interns, take us out. Let's go. Hit that beat, Izzy.
Do it. Hit it again. Wrap us
Hit
out.
that beat, Izzy.
Go do it. Llama, red pajama goes downstairs with his mama.
It's kickoff, set it off. Go to Vegas, bet it all. Put it on the Bucs win, whoever they gon' play gon' fall. Don't say I ain't told y'all. Loose cannons gon' fold y'all. Yeah, the Heat be 9-3, but it gets real cold in the fall. That's when the season start. Bucs come in 40 hard. Win after win, ripping the division apart. Panthers, they pussycats. Falcons got bird flu. Take the Ravens and Dolphins and open up a zoo. Cause